Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. And as you can see, your boy decided to become a suit today. That's right. I joined Wall Street. I'm a suit now. No, I'm just joking. But if you guys like the blaze and want me to dress up more like a suit, let me know. Definitely don't mind looking good for y'all. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just joking. Okay, so let's get into the serious stuff. Here's what I want to say, right? And I feel like I can't make this more clear. You know what I'm saying? First off, do not let today fool you. Because I know all the YouTubers, in case you guys haven't figured out the trick yet, right? These full-time YouTubers, YouTube is their business, right? And their courses is their other business. So you can't trust a word that they say because they're essentially salesmen, right? And they're running a business. And their business is contingent upon getting more people to watch their channel and getting more people to sign up for their course, right? So now that you know that, you realize that a lot of these YouTubers you can't trust to give you honest and real information. Now for me, because YouTube is not my main source of income at all, I barely make anything doing this. I like to think that I'm somebody you can actually trust, right? I'm not selling you any courses. As a matter of fact, I don't have a course. I don't have a Patreon. And I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I don't sit at home and make YouTube videos all day, right? Okay, but anyway, you guys get it. My main thing is, do not be fooled by this little rally we had today. And I know most of you are not, but unfortunately there are still a lot of people who are saying, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And it's like, I don't know how much money you guys have, but I don't have millions and millions of dollars to just religiously buy the dip every day like some of these YouTubers, right? So I have decided to play it smart. And I think this is what retail should do. Because you see, people, when you continuously buy the dip like this, in my opinion, I think you're fighting the Fed. And I think you've got to stop fighting the Fed. And this isn't a bearish video. This is just an honest video. You know, I think the Fed's going to get a lot more aggressive. I really do. I think this is just the beginning of the next few months. And I think this is going to be a rough summer. And that is why I have religiously, consistently said on this channel that I am holding cash. Okay. So let me say that. Let me also remind people that I know the market was decent today. Congratulations. But the party's over because Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. And then Wednesday, you get the Fed minutes. So I just want to throw that out there. Be careful with these YouTubers. You're going to see all these videos. Holy smokers, folks. Oh, my God. I saw Stock Mo just put out a video. I'm buying this stock right now today. Well, when the market's green, it sounds cool to say that, right? Because some retail investors are like, well, maybe the market's going up. Maybe I should buy that stock. Don't you fall for this bear market rally. Don't you do it. And I want to make sure I consistently say this because I want to drill this into your head that if you're going to buy stocks, at least you can't say that there wasn't somebody out there trying to warn you of what's to come, right? And again, I can't say this enough. Let's make sure we're very clear on what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't buy anything. I think, I mean, you can buy whatever you want, right? But in my opinion, I think buying index funds makes sense, right? Buying index funds makes sense. Buying individual stocks, if you legit did a valuation method, like maybe like a discounted cash flow or something like that, and you legit determine that that stock is undervalued on top of a few other factors, you know, because it takes more to research a stock than just valuation, right? But if you've done that and you really know what you're doing, fine. But if you're a normal retail investor and you're watching YouTube videos and you're like, man, SoFi looks cheap, Palantir looks cheap, Tattooed Chef looks cheap, I'm telling you, you are going to get mud, she wrote. Your portfolio is going to get destroyed. I still think we have lower to go. I really do. I expect the S&P. I mean, obviously, nobody has a crystal ball. You can't predict. But if we just use objective data, all this negativity out here, and we know for a fact, it's very obvious that inflation is starting to impact earnings. You don't think the Fed's watching that? You don't think that's going to give the Fed a reason to start to get more hawkish? We haven't even gotten to quantitative tightening yet, where the Fed is going to be removing money from the balance sheet. That begins in about a few weeks, about 2 weeks from now, right? So I just want to point these things out. I don't want people to get too jittery and end up losing all their money listening to these YouTubers. So like I said, if you feel like you got to put your money in something, index funds makes a lot of sense. Individual stocks, not so much, because individual stocks are a lot more risky. And I keep saying this, these index funds are self-filtering. They filter themselves, and they are very careful in what percentages of each stock they own. So if you load the boat and make sure SoFi 50% of your portfolio, then that's not wise. You're better off buying an index fund because you have too much risk in your portfolio. And I've said this so many times, you should really be careful on how much risk you have in your portfolio, given how bad the market is right now and how bad I think it's going to be going forward. So please do not fall for this bull trap, because that's all this is. This is a bull trap. Think about it. The market's rallying and you've got all this negativity coming up. You got Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow. God knows the market don't like him when he speaks. You've got Fed minutes on Wednesday. You've got Jerome Powell. You got FOMC coming in June, right? And then pretty soon we're going to get that next GDP reading, right? I'm just saying. I think the play here is to be patient. I don't even really look at the market anymore much. I used to look at the market several times a day. I only looked at it once today, and I saw that it was great. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still not buying stocks. I don't care if the S&P 500 goes up 10% from here. Still not buying stocks. And the reason why is because I strongly believe that I know what's coming. And one thing you got to give me my credit on, even if you don't agree with me, and that's fine if you don't agree with me. I could be totally wrong. But one thing you got to give me my credit on is at least I'm consistent. I just watched a video with me, Kevin, where he flip-flopped again. I just watched a video with Jeremy where he flip-flopped. Chris saying flip-flop, Stockmo flip-flop. These guys are like CNBC. Whatever the market's doing, they flip their thesis. I don't. I try to look ahead. And for those who don't know, I am a chess player. So, and I'm decent. I'm pretty good. With chess, you have to see ahead in order to be good, right? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that. But I think the data cannot be ignored. And I think the data and everything that we're seeing is pointing that it's going to be a rough next few months. And so I just want to make sure that nobody gets caught up and ends up falling into this. Palantir is down 80%. It's got to be a buy now. Like, no, these stocks can drop lower, you know? So again, my point in this video is to provide a solid strategy and plan. What is my solid strategy and plan? I am putting together a watch list of stocks that I feel are undervalued. Right now, I'm in the discounted cash flow mode. I'm in the mode, well, research too. I'm in the mode of researching, paying attention, doing a lot of reading of some reports, and then also putting these stocks into my model so I can figure out how cheap these things are getting. And if these stocks get too cheap, which I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think we're getting there. If these stocks get too cheap, then yes, I will start to buy again and start to grab a little bit more of those. But not just stocks getting cheap. Stocks getting cheap on top of things getting better. What I'm really looking for is some type of sign that the Fed is going to flip, because I'm telling you, I really believe that the Fed is going to get a lot more hawkish. That's really what I believe. And I know nobody wants to hear the doom and gloom. People just want to hear, holy smokers, folks, this ain't no jokers. Buy this stock. This stock will 10x. This crypto will 5x. But I want to be reasonable. We need more YouTubers who are going to be reasonable. No, your stock's not going to 10x. No, your crypto's not going to 5x. No, your portfolio's not going to go up 200% in 3 months. No, that's not what's going to happen. If you keep buying stocks, especially these risky stocks right now, your portfolio is going to get smoked. You are going to get murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. You're going to get destroyed. And that's just my honest opinion. So I'd rather actually give a real decent strategy. And my decent strategy is you should definitely remain invested. At least I am. I'm not selling any of my stocks. That would be stupid. But I'm also not going to just keep putting my money into a burning fire pit, you know, and that's essentially what I think that we're doing. And do not get tricked by these small swings throughout the weeks. That's just volatility, right? Pay more attention to what I always said. Higher lows, higher highs. Right now we're seeing lower highs and lower lows, which tells me it ain't time to buy stocks yet, folks. And just to separate, because a lot of people say you're timing the market. Let me tell you what timing the market is. Timing the market is saying I'm trying to catch the bottom and ride the wave up like me, Kevin did. That's timing the bottom. That's not what I'm saying. I recognize that the method I have chosen, there is no way I'm going to catch the bottom because I'm waiting for things to get more positive, which means the market will already have caught up to that. So the market will start to flip before that. But I would rather be a little late to the party and still buy stocks while they're cheap in a better macroeconomic environment than buying stocks every single week as we reach another week of lows and another week of lows and another month of lows, literally putting money into a fire pit. And that's just my strategy. I think this investing thing is all about strategies. At the end of the day, it comes down to what is your strategy and what are your realistic expectations and goals. And the biggest problem that retail investors have, especially these YouTubers, is they don't have a plan, they don't have a strategy, and they don't have a solid goal. They are all over the place. I want to 200x my money. I want to 10x my money. I want to make a lot of money in 1 month, 3 months, 5 years, 3 years. Make up your mind on what you want to do. For me, with my investment accounts, with my retirement accounts, my horizon is basically 40, 50 years to forever. So yes, I'm going to buy index funds in those accounts because my investment horizon is so far away, it doesn't matter. However, in some of my other accounts, my individual ones, yes, I plan to sell for a nice gain in about 3 to 5 years when I decide to make big purchases. So for me, I would rather practice this method of buying stocks than just throwing money into the oven pit when I plan to pull it out eventually, right? That's just my opinion. Everybody's got their own thing. I have different portfolios for different things. Some portfolios are for 5 years. Some portfolios are for 20 years. Some portfolios are for 50 years, and that's the main thing. You've got to figure out what your goal is, what your plan is. And please, for the love of God, stop fighting the Fed. That is what a lot of people are doing. You're just fighting the Fed. You're ignoring the fact that the Fed is going to get a lot more hawkish, and you're just saying stocks are cheap, I'm buying it now. And that's fine. That's one way to look at it. If you've truly done your due diligence, if you determine that a stock is cheap right now, then that's fine. But my argument would be that a lot of these stocks are still not quite cheap yet, and we need them to fall just a little bit lower before they get to that point where I would say that they're cheap. And so there you guys have it. That'll go and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.